first of all, we'll just start with some advice because we're trying to inspire high schoolers. So could both of you give the biggest and most important piece of advice you would give to a high schooler trying to get involved in longevity?
So that's a really good question, and I'm really happy that there's so much excitement in the longevity area because it's a really booming area of research. And I think the younger you are, the sooner you should engage yourself in longevity research, and you should really try to join a lab and get really some hands-on experience, because science is really hands-on, and the excitement is really to be in a community of scientists and get involved as early as possible in research.
Yeah, I would endorse that. I also think longevity work has actually been very much understudied in science, and I think there are many other fields are very mature, but the longevity field is one that is really growing very substantially now, and it will be a great time to sort of ride that wave, you might say. I think it's an excellent area for young people to get into. I think there's so much to be learned and so many exciting new developments, both in terms of basic biology of aging, but also in terms of potential ways of slowing the aging process.
What made you specifically interested in longevity research?
So that indeed happened in high school. So actually I discovered my desire to study aging already when I was in high school, because it was an unresolved problem in biology, such an important aspect of our human biology, and it, as Ian pointed out, it's completely understudied. So there was so much to discover, and back then it was really not the mainstream field that is nowadays, but I decided I study biology, I go into that field, and I think this was a really great choice.
Yeah, things are slightly different for me. I didn't really start out to work on longevity, or I was just interested in discovering new things in basic biology, and so I stumbled really into different areas over the years depending on where my interests and where new findings took us, really. And so, you know, we got into it more because we identified diseases where longevity was abnormal, and so as a result we became more and more interested in that. But we were driven very much by, you know, a basic science interest in understanding how cells work. And so you don't have to be somebody who comes into a field with only the interest in that field. You know, your interest can grow in different areas depending on how you get exciting new data in different areas.
So then going back a little bit to how you get involved in longevity, what I'm curious, and I know some other high schoolers are curious about, is what is the best way to approach a lab, approach a scientist to get involved in research?
So nowadays there's so many opportunities, more than ever before, because we have social media, we have easy access to publications, to YouTube videos, to lab websites, and so it's very easy to get in touch. So have a look what you find exciting, and try to email someone and explain that you're really interested. And it's very often that we have very young people in the lab who join sometimes in their summer vacation just for a couple of weeks, and it's really so easy. Just, you know, send an email and really specify your interest. Don't say just, you know, I don't know what to do with myself in the summer. Do you have something to keep me busy? But kind of try to think about what is exciting, what's interesting, and what can you achieve in that short period of time. And don't hesitate. It's very labs. The academia is usually very open-minded, and just engage yourself. Just have a look around, and just contact people. And you know, the worst case can happen to you. You don't get an answer. So just go on and never be discouraged, because frustrations are also part of science, and they occur. They happen. They happen in your experiments. So don't be shy because of that. Just go ahead and go for it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's excellent advice. But what I would say is, don't necessarily assume that simply writing to somebody and saying, you know, can I come and work in the summer, is going to really excite the person reading your message. You really have to engage with them and let them know what your ambition is, why you'd like to be involved, and really, just trigger an interest from the host lab. We regularly have summer students, we have high school students who come and visit us, and it's just, it's actually a pleasure for laboratories to have young people actually working alongside them and discussing things. But you have to trigger an interest. I get people writing to me every week saying, can I come and spend a bit of time or whatever. But most of the time, I'm not interested. But if somebody just triggers an interest by giving maybe a personal story as to why they're interested in longevity or interested in human disease or whatever, that will make people think, yeah, maybe this person's interesting to have around the place.
Thank you so much for answering our questions today, and thank you for coming to RDD.